Well, hello, Community Bible Church, and welcome again to our online Bible studies. We're going to be doing a little bit something different. If you have been with us, I took a 2-week vacation, not from work, but from these studies. And really, the primary reason why it ended up being 2 weeks instead of just 1 week was we were in the process of updating a lot of our technologies and just hopefully allowing the videos and all of that to go more smoothly on Sundays and help that. So if you watched that, hopefully you saw some little improvements, and we're going to keep trying to get better as we're training more people and getting better equipment and all of that. And so it just took a lot of work the last couple weeks, and I'm still working on it. I'm in the sanctuary right now working on it, but I wanted to stop and take a few minutes to create a little video here for us because I want to continue on with our online Bible study. It's going to be a little bit different though. What I'm going to do from now on, or at least the next little season, is something that I'm going to just call a verse a day. And as you might guess, we're going to go through one verse every single day, and hopefully it'll just be a little 5-minute little video generally, and it will just be a short little daily encouragement for you, whatever you're going through. So we're going to start through the book of 1 John as we just kind of continue on from 1 and 2 Peter and go over now to the book of 1 John. And we're going to hit the very first verse today. And so let's read it here together. It says, "That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our own eyes, which we looked upon and have touched with our own hands, concerning the word of life." Now, obviously, this book, as you might have already guessed, was written by the Apostle John. All right, that's widely accepted there. And we're going to see the themes come out throughout the book. And so I'm not going to get into all of that here today. But I just want to focus in particularly on this first verse. It says, "That which is from the beginning, which we have heard." So what is from the beginning? Do you remember the book of the Gospel of John? It starts out by, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." All right, so the Gospel of John, 1 John, written by the same man here, and we're beginning to see this, we'll see a lot of different themes that cross over between his two different books. So he says, from the beginning the Word. What is the Word? It's Jesus Christ, as we're going to see as we continue on in the next few videos here. But it says that was from the beginning. And then he says, we've seen it we've heard it with our own ears, we've seen it with our own eyes, we've looked upon it, we touched it with our own hands, concerning the word of life. So he's saying there's something that was from the beginning, but we have seen it, we have touched it, we have felt it. This is real. And just as a quick application point, I think that if you are a Christian, hopefully you are convinced, you really have to be if you are a Christian, that you are convinced that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and that he came and he lived on this earth, and he died and he rose again. You're convinced of all that, but in the same way, we have seen it, we have felt it, we have experienced it. Now, it's not in the same way that the apostles did. No, we go off of their testimony, and we're not just clinging to a wild, hopeless cause, a conspiracy theory that people just made up that a man rose. Like, no, they saw it with their own eyes, and we can cling to that. But then experientially for us, though, we ought to know that we know that we know. we ought to know intellectually that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. We ought to know historically that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. We ought to know emotionally. We ought to know spiritually. We ought to experience this in every single way. And so I can look at all the evidence, and I can look at the apostles' testimony to know that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. I can also look inside my own heart, and I know the experience that I had with him, and the experience that he has made a difference in my life, to know that I know that I know, and I've felt it and I've experienced it in the same way. So this verse teaches us, one, that we can depend on the apostles, that they have seen and they have saw this, that Jesus Christ, but then it also is an encouragement that hopefully you have experienced something inside of your own heart that even though you can't bring out the evidence for, even though there's no books for, you just know it in your heart that this is true, and there is no doubt in your mind that Jesus Christ is who he said he was, and that he lives inside your heart. So that's what I have here for you today. Please join me tomorrow, and we'll continue on with the book